Hi again then guys, and so I just wanted to make this quick video as a minor update in the grand scheme of the Photomode showcase, the weekly one, which was formerly the Photomode competition. Now it's not a competition anymore, we've got rid of that 10 to 1, best to worst or any of that. So it keeps it more inclusive and it's more just a showcase of art as a whole rather than saying this person is better than that person, because that's just not really a good way of doing things. So I wanted to make this video for three primary reasons. The main one is for those people who have Gran Turismo Sport and who would like to make use of the Scapes feature to take great photos and enter those into the weekly showcase, but maybe don't know how to enter those. Well, we're going to cover that very simply in this video. Secondarily though, there are two smaller points which we're going to cover first regarding the Photomode showcase itself. And those two questions which I get quite a lot are, what games are eligible for the showcase? And also, if I've entered photos before and they haven't gotten featured yet, do I need to send them again? Now, to deal with that one first, the answer is simply no. If you have ever entered a photo into the weekly showcase, be it week 1 or week 66, it doesn't matter. If you've entered it, then it is always eligible. If I didn't use it in that particular week, then it literally just rolls on to the next week and the week after until I eventually use it. Because I just pick my 10 favourites of the week, regardless of how old they are, and also looking into how well they fit as a montage for that particular week. So for instance, a certain type of car or a certain specific vehicle might pop up from an older entry and from a newer one and combine quite well. So once you've entered it once, you never need to enter it again. The second thing, which as I mentioned is regarding what games are eligible, it's quite simply any game. Literally any game that involves driving or riding a motorbike. Any kind of vehicle, basically. So any roadworthy vehicle, in effect, or race car. So bikes, cars, trucks, all that kind of good stuff. You could enter them from games like Gran Turismo, Forza, Need for Speed, Midnight Club. You could go more old school and go with like a race driver or a TOCA game or Colin McRae, WRC. You can even go for something like Grand Theft Auto or Final Fantasy with some of the car scenes there. Literally any moment or storyline or whatever that involves driving a vehicle or riding a bike from any game. It's just to keep it as inclusive as possible, and as a small little heads up, if you do decide to enter the competition and do choose to enter a less obvious choice of game, something for instance that isn't Gran Turismo or that isn't Forza, then I guarantee there is a very strong likelihood that I will feature you, because I look very favourably on those games which are not as obvious. So if you enter something from Felony 1179, also known as Runabout, or Midnight Club, or TOCA, some of those other games that I mentioned, or the old Le Mans game, or GTR, various other more obscure driving games, if you have the means to enter cars from those, such as using a capture card, then by all means, I can pretty much guarantee you will get featured. But, as far as this video, now we get to the section about specifically Gran Turismo Sport, because I have had some questions about this. So, if you want to enter a photo or photos into my weekly showcase for Gran Turismo Sport, what you want to do is go to the Scapes location, or of course you can use the in-race camera, either way. Then just select a place that you want to go, so let's say Arizona for the sake of it. Select the location that you want. Then when the Scape location is loaded up, select the car that you want, so let's just slap a vehicle in there. And then when you've selected all of your preferred settings, etc., shoot the photo. Let the photo render, as you usually would. Now, you can upload the photo to the community if you want to. That's not necessary for this. You don't need to if you don't want to. But the main point is wait for it to render the photo. Then it will give you the option to save. Save the photo. Then, as I said, you can share it if you want to, but that's not the point. Just save it to the library. Then you can come out of there, exit the Scape location, wait for the game to save, then come out to the main menu, go over to the left to your library. Then your photos will come up. Then, of course, select the photo that you would like to enter into the weekly competition. So let's say for me, let's say this one, for instance, from the Le Mans. So now when the photo is loaded up, wait for that little menu, as you saw at the bottom of the screen, wait for that menu to disappear, the previous and next. Now you've just got the photo itself. Now what you want to do is press the share button on your controller. But just before we get to that, you do have the more obvious choice of pressing triangle on the photo, and then you can export that to a USB stick. Most people will probably do that, and I do believe you get better quality if you choose to do it that way. But for those who maybe don't have a USB stick or don't have the time to do it, maybe you want to send in a photo last minute, something like that, then just select the photo that you want, let the menu disappear, then press that share button on your controller. Then that will give you the option to save the screenshot. Then that will literally screenshot the photo that you've taken. And of course you can do that as many times as you want. Then what you want to do is press your PlayStation menu. Then from the PlayStation menu, you want to go to your capture gallery, go under Gran Turismo Sport, go under screenshots, then you can select one of your screenshots. Then on that screenshot, press the share button once more, and then the game will give you the option, if you have your Facebook profile linked to PlayStation, or if you don't have Facebook, there are other options. I think there's Twitter, email, some other ones as well. Then basically save that screenshot to that location. I prefer to use Facebook. Then open up your Facebook on, say, your laptop or your phone or whatever, and it will come up on your profile. Not necessarily on your feed, but if you click on your personal page on Facebook, as an example, then the photo will be there. Then click on the photo, click options, and you'll be able to save it like you would any other photo. And then once you have the photo saved to your computer, you then have a couple of options. Now you can enter the photo into the competition just as it is, but you'll have a higher chance of entering if you crop the photo to remove the black bar from around the edge. The same black bar that you can see in this video, because that's the way the game is shown. Now the way that you can do that is by visiting a website which myself and a couple of those who enter the competition like to use to get their photos to be the 16:9 aspect ratio which YouTube uses. Now basically all you need to do is go to this website, which I've put on screen. It's a very simple one to use, very easy. I use it all the time. Then just select the photo that you want to enter, or that you want to crop more specifically. Enter that into the website, then it will allow you to crop it to 16:9. You can select it from the drop-down menu, then save that cropped image to your computer, and then you can attach that image to the email to send in. So you don't have to do that, but it just makes the photo look more professional, it makes it look cleaner, crisper, and it gets rid of that horrible black bar from around the edge. As I said, you don't have to, but the likelihood of being featured is drastically improved if you do that. Because it is, after all, an art-based competition, or showcase, more specifically. So if you do that and make it look more artistic, then of course you'll have a higher chance of being featured. So then, once you've done that, you can then go through the obvious method of getting the photo from your computer, and then of course that hasn't changed. From then on, you want to go to your email, use the email which I'm popping up on screen now, which hasn't changed from the start of the entire showcase. Select the photo that you want to send in, or the photos if it's more than one, attach them to the email, send it to that email address, and I cannot stress this enough, please include your PSN every time you enter. Even if you've entered it the first time, enter your PSN in the message every time, because otherwise the chances of being featured are much lower, because I'm not constantly cross-referencing, oh, what email did this person send 6 months ago, to find what their PSN is. So make sure that you include your PSN every time, and then that's pretty much it. Once it's sent out, I will collate them all on Sunday morning, then of course make it into the top 10 for the video. So I hope that's cleared up the issues which some people may have had for the photo mode competition. So that's it overall. I hope it's, as I said, cleared it up for you guys, and I hope to see some cool new entries. So, for now, as always, thanks for watching.